Hey everyone, and welcome to The Beatdown! Yesterday, Impact opened up with the World Championship match. It was Eddie Edwards versus Trey. I liked the match, but I just didn't like how it started with the championship match. Like, that's something you would think would be like a main event. So it's kind of weird that they're starting Impact with a championship match. I also don't feel happy knowing that they're gonna defend the title every single episode of Impact, because Eddie Edwards says he wants to be a fighting champ. But I feel like that kind of takes away momentum when there is a title match, because if you get title matches every week, then it starts to like kind of get boring.
I mean, I think the thing about that is that there's no actual rivalries between Eddie Edwards and anybody else yet. It's just everybody fighting simply because they want the championship. There's no rivalry yet. I'm sure when there is a rivalry, it's gonna be more like Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace, when Deonna was like, no, we're gonna fight on my terms, on my time. Right now, there's no rival for the champion right now. So I mean, it's just everybody wants it, but there's no really storyline there. So I get where you're coming from, but you know, it kind of makes sense, you know.
We got to see the first episode of Wrestle House, and honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I was excited about it last week, but this week, after I saw what they're doing with it, I'm not really sure where they're gonna go with this. Honestly, I feel like it was a waste of time. I don't know how they advanced. So I really hope that next episode, we start to see maybe some storylines evolve or something. But for this episode, I did not like Wrestle House. The matches in the back were kind of random. Like, oh, so there's a conflict at Wrestle House, and the way you solve it is you go to the ring. So I don't know how I feel about it, but I guess we'll see if hopefully they make it better next week. Hopefully we start to see some more advancement.
You know, it's actually interesting because when I saw it yesterday, I kind of was like, what is this? But then I re-saw it today on the Impact website. I was rewatching it. You know, it's cool. You know, it's like a wrestling reality TV show. You know, it's like I said, it's right after Slammiversary. There's not really any storylines yet. I think it was actually interesting to see the Deaners fight against each other in the ring, because they were fighting for who's gonna, you know, when they were snoring and all that, they were fighting for who's gonna sleep on the bed, who's gonna get kicked out. The one with AC and Crazy Steve, that was interesting. You know, they were fighting. You know, you basically gotta see it like a reality show. Yeah, it's basically like a reality show within a show, and I guess you gotta separate that. This is for giggles, this is for the funnies, you know what I mean? This isn't meant to be taken so seriously, maybe. You know, I think it's pretty cool, you know, they're being creative. You know, obviously right now with COVID, there's no real audience in the stage, and in live performance such as wrestling, the audience is very important, because you don't get those chants, you don't get the boos, you don't get the claps, you know? I think it's actually a pretty interesting take.
Well, I see where you're coming from, but I'm not really a person who likes seeing reality TV. So maybe that's why it's not catching my attention too much. But I see where you're coming from when you say that there's no audience. So they're trying to improvise and do something a little bit different.
You know, you also got to remember, this whole Wrestle House started with Johnny Bravo, Rosemary, and Taya. So based off what we've seen in the past, I feel like there's this conflict between Rosemary and Taya, and Johnny Bravo in between. And I think Rosemary mentioned, we're gonna be here as long as we have to, or something like that. I think Johnny's Bravo is gonna ultimately have to make a choice within this Wrestle House to see if he wants to pair up with Rosemary or be Taya's little boy, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying in regards to Johnny Bravo, but I just hope that it doesn't take up that much time from wrestling next week. I hope they cut down the segments. Rohit was in the back and he's sucking up to Chris Bay. I'm just trying to figure out why. This is a guy who just a few weeks back he said that it was his time to be on top. He wanted to be the man. He wanted to get a shot, and now we got him like sucking up to Chris Bay. Like, it just kind of is going like a complete switch. to like what he was saying that he wanted to do. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but Rohit, like, you're going down in quality, man. You're becoming a lackey, a journeyman, and you need to get out of this storyline or quickly make sure that you're gonna come up on top or you win a title shot. I hope I see some more advancement next week regarding this.
You know, maybe he might be scheming something you don't know about. Maybe he's gonna, you know, I don't think Rohit Raju is the most trustworthy person on the Impact roster. Seeing as he has no friends anymore, you know, I could definitely, you know, maybe he's either A, trying to make a friend, or B, he's trying to scheme something and backstab him in the end. You know, maybe this is his opportunity, his way of trying to get the title. You know, you never know. He might have something up his sleeve.
That's true. He actually lost all his friends, so he's alone. So it could be true. He might be trying to make Chris Bay his friend. Maybe we might get a future tag team here. They might challenge for the titles. But for now, I really hope Rohit makes a move on this X Division, or we see some more progression so that he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. I really like how EC3 is being built up. This week we got to see a little cutscene regarding him talking about him controlling his narrative, which I like it. You know, he's coming from a different brand, a different company, where he was being forced to be something that he wasn't. So now that he's on Impact, he is truly showing his true potential.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see EC3 as well. Honestly, I've never seen EC3 in the ring before. I've never seen any of his previous matches. Maybe I should see some of his previous matches to get a feel for his wrestling style, or to see maybe if his style has changed. But you know, he sounds like he's gonna be well, he's already a fan favorite, but you know, I think eventually, or you know, maybe sooner, you know, we don't know, maybe he's gonna be the one who takes that rivalry with Eddie Edwards.
Next week we get to see Heath in the ring for the first time. He's gonna go up against Moose, and he's gonna earn his spot on the roster if he wins. So I'm excited to see how this goes.
I mean, it's gonna be a good match. I do want Heath on the roster, but I don't want Moose to lose. And generally, I think he is on a winning streak. So I don't know. It's gonna get broken next week.
He always tends to win when it matters, but I'm kind of wondering what's gonna happen. Is he gonna win or is he gonna lose? Because in order for him to keep dominating and keep looking like the beast he is, he has to win. But if he wins, he makes Heath look weak.
I think it would definitely make a great main event.
We had some knockouts action, and my favorite knockout on the roster right now, Deonna Purrazzo was in action against Kimberly. And let me tell you, when she came out, she looks like such a beast with that title around her waist. She truly looks like a champion. Like, I'm just trying to figure out why when she worked with her previous company, she was never given a shot to be on top. Because at Impact, she's been giving that shot. She's #1 right now, and I have not seen a crack on the wall to make her look weak. She is looking more dominant and more vicious than ever, especially in the match against Kimberly.
I don't know what you're talking about, because I saw Kimberly making some great moves against her. She had her in a submission hold. You know, unfortunately, she didn't come out on top, but I think Kimberly needs to see some... I think Kimberly needs to get some more action in the ring, because she's, you know, she's definitely a star and not letting her shine as bright as she possibly could.
But Kimberly kind of just joined, and she hasn't really been in any really good rivalry.
She hasn't been involved at all. So.
I am happy to see that Jordynne Grace came out to attack Deonna Purrazzo. I mean, I'm really happy that she's not getting lost in the shuffle, and she's still irrelevant.
Word of the episode, shuffle. Lost in the shuffle. Put that in the hashtag down there. Lost in the shuffle. Hashtag lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, because, you know, I kind of thought that she was gonna, like, get out of the title picture when she lost. Like, she was gonna get pushed down to the bottom of the food chain. But no, she's still there. She's still gonna continue her rivalry against Deonna Purrazzo. Of course, I'm still going for the champ.
And I'm still going for Jordynne.
And I'm sorry, but Deonna Purrazzo's, like, way better. I was wondering why Jordynne is gonna feud with Deonna Purrazzo, because technically Kylie did win the #1 contenders match for a shot at the championship. But it was cleared up that the reason why Kylie is not having her match yet is because she's in Wrestle House. So as long as she stays there, we won't see Kylie cash in on her shot. So we're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that Kylie versus Deonna Purrazzo. I'm kind of happy that they're giving a little break in between the match versus Kylie and Deonna, because it's gonna let Deonna become a bigger champion. Her title reign is gonna be more credible for when she goes up against Kylie.
Yeah, I think it's cool how, you know, for example, Impact just got a fresh set of knockouts, a fresh set of you know, roster. I think it's kind of cool that they have more roster. Like right now, there's going to be a lot of storylines being created, a lot of rivalries between them, a lot of character development. And I really like the way Impact kind of shuffles in and out. For example, Taya Valkyrie, you know, she's in for a few months. You see her every episode. When she was a Knockouts champion, you saw her in every episode. And then she lost her, and it's kind of like she went on vacation for like 2 months or so. And then all of a sudden, she came back with Johnny Bravo and Rosemary. So I really like the way Impact does a good job at, you know, switching wrestlers in and out.
Exactly, and we won't forget that Kylie has her shot against the champ later down the line. Rich Swann provided us an update, and he let us know that next week he's gonna come to Impact to let us know his medical condition.
And his personal feelings.
Honestly, I don't think he's injured, man. He showed up at Slammiversary and he looked better than ever. He might have taken a few chair shots, but I'm trying to figure out if Rich Swann is playing possum and just kind of pretending to be down on the mat, kind of pretending to be weak so that you don't see him as a threat and you let your guard down. And when you do let that guard down, he's gonna come up and just come out of nowhere.
I don't know, man. That, what you just said, that sounds like something that Ace Austin would do. Sounds like something that Sami Callihan might do. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain wrestlers that you can imagine or you can predict that they will plot stuff like that. But Rich Swann, he's a crowd favorite, you know? He loves wrestling. I don't think he would plot something like that.
Well, just look at Slammiversary. When he got interviewed, he didn't tell us he was healthy. He lied to the camera and he didn't tell us he was good. He didn't tell us he was going to come out. So I think he is capable of pulling a fast one, especially when it benefits him.
Who knows?
We also got an exclusive free 99 photo shoot
Almost photo shoot.
Katie Forbes. She went out to the ring and she did this amazing photo shoot, but guess what?
Sami Callihan did his thing. I see you. He hacked it.
Sami Callihan came out and he photoshopped his face into Katie's pictures, and I loved it. It was funny.
It was hilarious.
Entertaining. And
it was hilarious. It was unexpected, and it was good.
And I really like that Sami, like, he's not in the main event anymore. I really like that he keeps getting great storylines for his character and he keeps innovating. He keeps making his character better and better every single time. I can't wait to see how RVD is going to respond to Sami Callihan. Like, it's going to be an interesting rivalry and I'm looking forward to it.
Right, but did you guys see Katie Forbes' hairstyle? I don't know, I'm not really feeling that. I thought it was,
Yeah, well, Katie has her own style. We all know that. And I also want to mention that I do miss cancel culture. And I'm sad it's gone. But this new storyline looks like it's going to be a great replacement.
Yeah, man. I mean, I get some of the rosters from cancel culture got fired for their reasons. But I think they could have, you know, brought in some new faces into cancel culture and kept it alive.
For the main event, we had the Good Brothers versus Reno Scum. And I gotta say, it was a good match, but I don't know. I don't like how Reno Scum is losing a lot lately.
Why?
Well, because I like Reno Scum. They're a good tag team. They got a good gimmick, and I feel like they have so much more potential.
I mean, Reno Scum, you know, their name, Scum, they're scumbags, you know? Like, of course they've got potential, they're professional wrestlers.
But then again, this is a hit or miss because they are still main eventing, so that does mean that they're on top of the food chain. And they're being paired up with Ace Austin, which I really like. They're really good lackeys for Ace Austin. I like how Ace came out at the end.
Yeah, I don't think this was a good main event. I think the episode could have ended with the Katie Forbes and Sami Callihan. I think that would have been a good end for the episode.
But I do like how they're continuing the storyline of Ace and Madman Fulton versus the Good Brothers, because I'm really enjoying seeing Ace in the main event, and I hope he stays there. And the episode ended with the two teams going to the back, fighting against each other. So I hope that next week, that's how Impact starts. I want to see what happened after Impact ended last night.
Alright, guys, well, that's it for this week's episode. Stay tuned.
Make sure you hit the like button if you liked what we said, and make sure you subscribe. And last but not least, how about in the comment section, you just write the name of a wrestler that you think is getting lost in the shuffle with all these new superstars getting signed to Impact. This has been it, and thank you for tuning in to The Beatdown.